What's up, guys? Coming to you with a long overdue deck profile. We're going to be talking about this Vegeta and Bobbity deck that I have been playing. It has gotten me a second place store championship and top 4 finishes for both pre-release and the release of Supreme Rivalry, the new set in Dragon Ball Super. So we've walked away with a couple of the leaders, even have the gold stamped leader for one of the top 4 finishes. Got my collection of unisons for that yellow swap deck. Gonna be trying it out. Supreme Rivalry is out. Hopefully you guys have been able to get some. I've been able to win some boxes at these tournaments and some pre-release packs. But let's talk about the deck that has gotten me there, that I've been playing pretty much this whole format so far since it has come out. Vegeta and Bobbity. So this is one of the set 11 leaders, and we're already up to set 13, but I've been using this set 11 leader, mostly because it's a Vegeta, and Vegeta is my homeboy. It's one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball. And this happens to be a very aggressive deck that can literally steal games by turn 2 if you open pretty broken. He is an overlord, so there are some servant cards where you get to put them to the bottom of your deck and draw a card. Auto, add 1 card from your life to your hand when he attacks. He gets plus 5k and double strike. You can take a life to draw a card, so pretty good advantage there. And when your life is at 5 or less, you may switch up to 2 of your energy to active mode and flip them over, and we get almost the same effects on this side here. The added bonus is he no longer needs to attack to take a life, draw a card. It's just an activate main this time on. Once per turn, you take a card from your life, add it to your hand to draw 1 card, and he will get plus 5 and double strike. And then he also has an additional ability where you can pay 1 green once per turn. Look at the bottom card of your deck, and if it's a Vegeta card with an energy cost of 3 or less and the servant skill, you may play it. And otherwise, you just return it to the bottom of your deck. So, the main thing for this is a lot of aggressive plays. One of the main things that we're trying to do is we are playing the Majin quickening version. I know that a lot of people say that there's like a straight aggro version of this one. We're trying to go tall as well as go wide. So Majin quickening is pretty cool. And what it does is whenever you take a life, the top card of your deck goes under this card. And when you have 4 cards under here, you can send it to your drop to summon a Majin Buu with a cost of 3. So we are pretty much opening 3 of those, 4 of the Bobbity, and 2 Hachiak. This is basically multiple ways to get any other cards. So Hachiak, you pay 1 to discard it to summon this guy from your deck, and then this guy will play the Majin Quickening from your deck to the board. The Bobbity also lets you dig for servants. So you look at the top 7 for this guy here. When he's played, you take a life, and he gets double strike. So he's a 15k double strike. He has servant, so you can use the leader, put him under the bottom of your deck, draw yourself a card, and you get the same thing with the 3-drop Prince of Destruction Vegeta. Has double strike. He has servant, so he's a 30k double strike. He swings. If your opponent activates a counter card once per turn, he can restand. And then you can also put it to the bottom of your deck with Overlord Servant. Pay the 1 green, bring it back, swing again if you have to. There's multiple ways to put these cards to the bottom of the deck, which is why we play this super combo. It's take 1 card, put it to the bottom of your deck, draw 2. Most likely you want to put these guys to the bottom of your deck so you can have it set up for your leader effect, draw 2 cards, and keep going with the aggressive push. The targets for Majin Quickening, once you have 4 cards under it, you're looking for Majin Buu Ghastly Energy. He has Barrier, and when he's played, you can take a marker off one of your opponent's unison cards. That rarely comes up. The one that's probably going to come up more is looking for a fight. He has Deflect, and then when he's played, you can pop a 4 or less and KO it. They're both 20k attackers, and you're able to evolve them with the 3-star ball Parasitic Darkness, which we play 4 copies of that card as well. It's also a 5k combo, and what you do is when you activate it, you place it under him, and you look through your deck for Majin Xeno. So this one is one of the ones from it was like one of those expansion or I think it was the ultimate deck. And this guy has a bunch of things. So he has unique barrier. Once per turn, when he's played, you can look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and you can choose a non-black card, or Dark Broly, or a non-black card with the energy of 9 or less, with Xeno in its name, and you get to play it. So you could play this guy, but you can also evolve this off of the 3 drops into this one here. Or you can go for Lord Slug, looking for a fight. It's the main one you want to get. And the reason why you want to get these two is when they're in rest mode, they have different effects. So this guy, he's in rest mode. If your opponent attacks your leader once per turn, they have to discard 2 cards. And the Lord Slug, when he's in rest mode, your opponent can't attack your leader. And then if he is removed from the board by a skill, you can get the ball back. It says you can also play a Lord Slug, but we don't have any Lord Slugs to play. So it doesn't really matter. One of the other attackers you can play is Majin Buu, Royal Absorption. His dual attack, double strike. You can also evolve him over the 5-drop, but you only play one of because you're mostly getting this off of the 4-drop Majin Buu. 25k, double strike, swings twice, and then when it's removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, you can play up to 1 green Majin Energy Buu card with an energy cost of 3 from your drop, and then you add up to 1 Dark Dragon Ball from your drop area back to your hand. So you can pretty much effectively go back into your chain if he's ever removed from the board by a skill. Some of the cards to help us out with the deck. We play one of Towa Rewriting History. She's there as a 5th copy of the Dark Dragon Ball. It's also just something to do with your energy because you're mostly awakening like on your 2nd turn. So like you're trying to do as much as you can with the energy before you awaken. So sometimes, you know, you have one and you still have an energy to use. You can play this, search the ball out your deck, and then awaken before you flip them over. Depending on how you want to sequence it, it's up to you. A lot of different ways you can do this card. What I like about it is, you know, she gets the ball out of the deck, effectively making her almost a 10k combo. So you can combo with this with 5, and then you can combo with the extra ball. So that's 10k combo power right there. You're trying to go big with your swings to kill your opponent. And yeah, so like you just go big, go hard. You know, green deck go brrrr, as most people would like to say. I wanted to circumvent some of the downsides of Majin Quickening, because sometimes, you know, you might put like some of your pieces in Majin Quickening and then they're in your drop. So you tried out 2 copies of Sorrowful Strike Tien Shenhan. I'm so glad I switched to this card. He comes in so clutch. Reason being, he has an auto. When you combo with this card and your leader happens to be green, which our leader is, you can choose 1 card in your hand and send it to the drop, and then you get to choose 1 or 2 effects. So you can choose up to 3 battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or more and a power of 35k or less, and you put them to the bottom of your deck in any order. So like if you want to make sure that you hit like your 6 or your 7 drop, or you know, maybe your RNG was awful and like 2 of these got stuck under your Majin Quickening, you have a way to put them back into the deck before you decide to go off. It's also a nice way to tailor, like you can put this back, and then like if one of your 3 drops is in the drop, you can put it to the bottom. And let's say you're on your awaken side before you do quickening, or if the sequence happens to be that way, you can pay 1 to get this guy out, do quickening into the 3 drop, play the ball to the 4, and then, you know, you have your go wide board. So a lot of different things that you can do, multiple ways to use different cards to win the game essentially. We have this as one of our main overwhelms. It's mostly just to draw 2, 20k body for the additional swing, but it's also like to dig in case, you know, we're stuck on trying to find certain cards. And then the 3rd overwhelm, an alternate finisher also as well. Mirror Assault from the Skies. He's double strike, overwhelm 7. You pay 1. When you play his card, you draw a card, and then he's 30k swing. You know, and it's pretty awesome. The other thing too is at the start of your opponent's next main phase, you can also choose 1 energy and switch it to active mode. So that kind of comes in handy, especially if like you're on defense. We play Cell's Kamehameha. Other defensive cards that you can probably use would be like Dormant Potential or Shocking Death Ball. And then our SCR is the Majin Buu. incarnation of demonic evil. This is basically your counter. If anything other than your leader is swinging and your opponent activates a counter, you can negate that counter skill and put this guy into play. He's 40k, double strike. It's pretty broken. So that's pretty much the deck. All of these events were best of one. So I don't have a side deck, but this is pretty much the profile for my second place store championship. I was close to getting the invite, and then I placed top 4 at both the pre-release and the release tournament for Supreme Rivalry. The new set out for Dragon Ball that is out as of this recording. Both times I lost, like, I think the pre-release tournament I lost round 2, and the release tournament I lost round 3. They were 5 rounds, so I finished both events 4-1, and one was like I was 3rd place, and the other I was 4th place. So it is what it is. The deck, can be a bit of a glass cannon, but I like it. It's fun. I'm gonna be working on some new decks with the cards from Supreme Rivalry. I'm really interested in that Dark Mechikabra, kind of a new way to play Wish. So hopefully we'll have a profile for that. Thanks again. Stick around for the next video, guys.